Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'll keep my remarks a little bit brief because, like a colleague of mine said, I think it is there you might have reached a saturation point. There have been so many ideas and so many visionary proposals and things floating around that I think it's at some point it becomes hard to imbibe it. Let me begin by giving a little bit of an idea of how this forum relates in my mind to all the other forums that I have attended. United Nations, New York, in particular Department of Economic and Social Affairs, holds a lot of forums around the world. Many meetings, many capacity building workshops, many expert group meetings around the world in all regions of the world. And though it's my first time in India in an eWORLD forum, I was very impressed. I am comparing it, so my comments should be taken in that vein. I was very impressed. I was impressed at several levels, which I would like to share with you. First, and I must say this, I was impressed with the vision and the leadership that I saw from the government in terms of how they are leading India and what they are providing at the policy level, the framework level, and the overall guidance level. In this context, I would say that, as one of my co-speaker here mentioned, Mr. Shankar Agarwal's laying down of the overall strategic vision of the Indian government was thoroughly impressive. In particular, the clarity and the vision that they have provided. In our experience, both from the United Nations e-government rankings of around the countries, the report, the capacity building, the advisory services, the meetings, the advocacy, all that we do at the global level, which includes activities and services that we provide to many countries around the world. I think the model of India in terms is one of the best defined ones that I have seen. And I am taking that with me to New York. I would also like to mention that such an enabling environment that has been outlined by the government of India in the rights-based approach to ICT for development is also something I'm taking back. As a lesson learned, I would like to mention that we often are called upon by member states, by countries around the world, to provide us with lessons learned that United Nations has had the opportunity, or others have had the opportunity to learn from around the world. This is something I am taking a rights-based approach to ICT for development. I think it's important, and it's very commendable that India has built this, has various components, clear, concise manner, which lay the groundwork, which lay the framework from which then legal and regulatory environment can be served, as well as the other applications, ICT environment in terms of solutions, applications, policies can be served. Secondly, I was very impressed in particular on the diversity of projects that were offered. Whereas UNDESA, United Nations Secretariat, does not necessarily get involved at the ICT application level itself. We provide services through capacity building, but do not necessarily get involved in it in ourselves. I was most impressed by the diversity of ICT applications which I saw, with the focus on service delivery per se. And it reminded me of the times, like even 10 years ago, when service delivery was not even included in the definition of e-government. And then e-government comprised mostly, in many countries around the world, as being efficiency, transparency, and effectiveness of government operations. This was the scope and the parameter of e-government in the initial days of e-government. And it's heartening to see how far it has come. I will also say that I was impressed in terms that how far India is taking this particular approach of providing services in both horizontally and vertically given that it is a very large country comprising many structures and regimes in terms of decentralized governance structures, and how it is dealing with this issue of commonality, as well as providing providing diversity, but yet conforming to a commonality of applications. Particularly, I would say, at the central level, it is important to link and provide one cohesive policy platform, which I have seen and I have mentioned just now, followed by at the state level by own indigenous requirements, feed it into it, and then applications at the ground level which effectively work. The third thing that I was impressed was innovation. In the United Nations, particularly in DESA, we pay a lot of emphasis and importance to innovation. We have programs on looking on innovation in the public sector, public administration and development management. And innovation and innovative concepts are important for us. In this context, I saw here e-innovation. I saw very, very interesting and important applications at the ground level. They were innovative in terms of the fact that they were actually geared towards not only service delivery, they were geared with the idea in mind that the ultimate objective is serving the average person. Each of those average persons who live in the 70% of the rural population of India. In this context, I would like to inform you, if you are not already in the know-how, that United Nations Department of Public Administration and Development Management floats a public sector award every year. It is given by the United Nations, and we solicit innovative case studies, innovative projects which have been implemented with some results and feedback on the ground. And you can download these applications. Any one of you who is a pioneer in such projects at the state level or even at the lower local level, you are very welcome to look at our website and apply next year, because we just concluded this year's awards. We have a committee which looks at the awards from around the world. This is a global competition for innovative case studies, innovative projects on ground, and the United Nations gives a UN Public Service Awards to successful projects. If you do not know about it, I would encourage you to take a look at it, because I am confident that many of the projects that I saw here could very well receive the top positions in the UN Public Service Award next year. I was also very impressed with the commitment and vision of the youth, of the young people I saw here. It was energy. It was mostly a starry-eyed commitment to what is possible. That gives hope, and that is very sweet to hear, to see, and because it gives hope to everybody. That kind of commitment and drive that I saw here, and I met with a lot of people who explained their projects to me, but there were also some people who were hopeful of a project, who were here with ideas. And whether they wanted UN to sponsor or whether they wanted the governments to take note of it, but it was absolutely thrilling for me to see not only a whole segment of the society, but my feel of India, a country on the move. So that was very thrilling for me also. Having said this, I would like to make two suggestions here. One is that I feel that India has come a long way in IT. Everybody knows that. It's a powerhouse in IT. But I felt that there was a need on part of, and this is something I felt not now, I've known this by my own work and from the work of my colleagues in the division globally. There is a need